We outside with a thing. We outside with a clip. Fuck, bang. We outside with a gang. We outside with a clip. Fuck, bang.
Alright, back outside. Who am I outside with, man?
You outside with that one cousin Joe, why?
That one cousin Joe. Hey, well, I refer to him as the OG Joe. You know what I'm saying? First question, man, before we get this thing going. I already know. How is your mental health, my brother?
Oh man, my mental health is good, man. I trust God in everything that I do, and I believe in Him, so I keep my mind stayed on them things that are positive. Ain't always been that way, but that's where we at right now.
Yeah, man, you got to stay positive, man. Negativity don't help nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just help the cause stay down. You know what I'm saying? If you want to elevate, you got to find some positivity in the negative. You know what I'm saying? To get out wherever you in. For people who, you know, down in the slumps, man, they can't get up out of that. Get them some advice on how to get up out of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? What you do?
Hey, man, you just got to stay focused, man, and stay, you know, first of all, like I said before, man, if you don't believe in the supreme being, that's the one that's going to do it for us right there, man. You got to trust God and believe who He is. And you come up out of your ruts by a lot of times separating yourself from people who you think are helping you, but they're not really helping you. They just hindering you, influencing you to stay in that bad place.
Man, that's deep, you know, because, dang, that's deep. That's deep because, like, you know, when you at a certain level and, you know, you got people around you that try to see you elevate, they'll keep you where you at until you get away from it. Then you realize, like, dang, ever since I started talking to what's her name, I've been doing good.
Right.
That last relationship I was in, since I ain't been in that relationship, I've been elevating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So people got to realize that. But, you know, sometimes people don't realize it until, like, something bad happened. You know what I'm saying? Give them some traits on, like, how can they catch that early, man?
I mean, what you got to understand is when you trying to progress and you trying to move forward positively, everybody can't go with you. And so you got to understand that point first. You got to understand that, okay, we all have instances where we go back to our old stomping grounds or whatever, and we see people doing the same thing they were doing when we were here 5-10 years ago.
Facts.
So a lot of times, you know, people can't go with you. When you want to make that move and progression is what you want to do, you have to be bold enough and willing enough, have faith enough to say, I'm finna just go. No matter who go with me, no matter who don't want to go with me, no matter who talk about me, because, you know, our people are some of the biggest proponents of tearing each other down. And if we could get the unity in our folks, something that's been being said for the last 30-40 years, we've been crying black unity. But if we could actually come together and do that, then we'll see a massive change in our daily life, in our lifestyles, and things of that nature.
Yeah, man. Basically, you got to have vision. You know what I'm saying? You can't worry about if I'm going to get what I want to get tomorrow or the same day. Man, everything take progression. You got to wait on some stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this thing like stocks. You put your money in stocks. Sometimes it be up, sometimes it be down.
Exactly.
But you got to stay along for the course.
You got to wait.
Some people don't want to take that long course, man. They just want it instantly.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Well, let's get into this, man. For the people who don't know what you do, you know what I'm saying, what you get into, break down, you know what I'm saying, who is that cousin? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, man, really, I'm just a voice out here, man, that really want, and even in the recent rash of, you know, killings here in Warner Robins and, you know, the youth, the way that they traveling right now, you know, we need to reach these kids some type of way, man. We need to be able to get to these kids. And, you know, that's what, you know, that one cousin take a minute movement is. Take a minute to think before you make that decision that can change your life for the rest of your life. We need to make sure that we inform our youth, our kids, no matter what age they are, that there are certain repercussions that come along with whatever you do. For every action, there's a reaction.
That's a fact.
Yeah, man. So you got to think on, take a minute, just take a minute. Even, you know, just back in our day, man, and I talk to a lot of people and they say that we can't judge the youth of today from back when I came up. But back when I came up, based me to be the man that I am here today.
Right.
In our day, you got beef, you fight over, you lose, you go back to the gym, you train, you come back, you ask, can you shoot your one?
Right.
But see, today, it's not no honor in that. People can't take a whooping these days, put it that way. We take a whooping on our job if we get fired.
Right.
Now we got to adjust to what we gonna do now to make money to pay the bill. We do all of these things and bounce back, but we can't bounce back from confrontation.
When you say, which is powerful, just take a minute. Like, kind of break that down on what you mean when you say just take a minute.
Just for example, we'll you know, if you're in an altercation with somebody, and if you come up on something, a situation that's volatile to where you at, you know, you can respond, you can go off, because I've been there myself. I've been in that point where, you know, if something said or something done, to automatically react without even thinking, not even thinking about the repercussions that comes after that. See, you, and especially to our young brothers, man, out there, man, I just want them to hear a voice that's telling them, once you make that decision, once you pull that trigger, you destroyed 2 lives. The person you shot and yours. Now, take a minute. Before you pull that trigger, think about what comes along with what you're about to do.
Right.
Okay, so now we shoot, we kill our own. What's the first thing that we do? We run. What you running for? You were man enough, woman enough to shoot them. What you running for? Now, if you would have took that minute, now that you shot this person and now you on the run, the police looking for you. Now what do you think the police gonna do? You've been called out as armed and dangerous. So now you on the run.
They gonna shoot first.
Yeah, when they see you and they get to running behind you, it's justified. Now, here comes everybody. We want to have marches. Oh, the police didn't know, but the police are being put in situations to where they have to protect themselves and their families also.
Right.
And then after that, once you run and they catch you and they put you in jail and you go to court, the next thing you do is you crying. What you crying for? But you didn't take that minute to think about what's going to go on now. Central booking, all of these things, strip search, bend and cough, all of the things that come along with going to jail, going to prison for the rest of your life.
Right.
Yeah, man, I'm just really sick. Balloon releases and community marches. Think. You'll see Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, Ben Crump, all these people show up if you get killed by an officer of the law.
Come on now.
Where they at? And we killing each other every day. Where are they at in the community to say, hey, we need to stop it here first? And over years, we've been saying the same thing. Oh, we got to stick together as a people. When we gonna do it?
But see, sometimes it ain't no monetization in that, right? So you won't see them guys if they can't make a profit off of it.
Exactly. That's why they're not here.
Right.
But what is the importance? So you mean to tell me a black man, a black woman that is killed by the police, and we don't know what the situation is of what they did?
Right.
As to why the police killed them. We in the uproar, we're mad about it, but we don't know what happened to bring them to that point. Okay, so now that makes them more important than the young man who got killed last weekend.
Right.
How? They're both young lives. Why? Why is there no difference? If there's gonna be action, there's gonna be movement. We got to have people that's gonna stand, notable people in this community. Warner Robins, Macon. We got people in these communities that have influence over people. And all they have to do is step out to try to make it better.
Right. You know, just bring that middle ground. You know what I'm saying? Bringing the youth and the OGs together. Or even bringing people from two opposite sides that might not get along with each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just having a simple conversation, or just take a minute. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Just take a minute and think about what it is. Think about the repercussions of what you did. Think about what's going to happen after you do it. That go from robbing, stealing, whatever the case may be. There is a cost that's going to have to be paid. And you have to decide if you willing to pay the cost.
Facts.
Because if they sentence you to 20, 25 years in prison, you know what that is? That's 25 Christmases. That's 25 Thanksgivings. That's 25 birthdays. That's 25 Mother's Days. That's 25 Father's Days. That's all of these things that where you're calling home at these times and you're listening to people having a good time when you're in a cage among other people that you got to watch your back for. When you could have taken that minute and been home that Christmas. Is it really worth it?
It ain't never worth it.
Street cred, for people to be scared of you or think that people scared of you. And regardless of how scared you think somebody is, there's always somebody better than you that ain't scared.
Yep. They scared on the inside, but the
Right.
exterior tell you something totally different. You don't even know how scared they is.
Right.
You think they tougher than nails, but you know what I'm saying, the interior, they dealing with a lot of pain.
Exactly.
They deal with a lot of trauma, you know what I'm saying, that they haven't dealt with. So everything come outpouring. You know
Exactly.
On top of that, a substance abuse, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That'll take them to a whole nother level. You ain't even the same person anymore. Now you're a zombie.
Right. Right.
Killing zombie, you know what I mean?
Right. And we have to continue, man, to police ourselves, man. We have to start with us. We have to do these things with us. We're more confrontational to each other than anybody else.
Right.
And for what reason? If you look at it, anybody of us around here, we ain't got no more than the next man got.
Right.
So what is the animosity toward us for? What is our animosity toward each other? Why is that? Because anything that you want, if you put your mind to it and you put in the work, you can have. But you got to put in the work to do it. But you always got people, they don't want to work, they want to take it. Right. They want it fast, so they want to take it. And see, all those come with repercussions there also. Yeah, man, I'm just really, the way that this world is going, the way our kids going, man, it really has me just sitting like, when are we going to do better? You know, over the years, 20, 30, 40 years, we've been saying this, but when are we going to do better?
What are some things you think that kind of contribute to like the detriment of the black community? You know what I'm saying?
To be honest with you, man, there's a lot of things that can contribute to that, but really, I mean,
if you can give me like a top, it'd probably be 5 things out there, you know what I'm saying, that you could probably pick that kind of was a detriment. Like, what would you say if you had to say?
It would have to be, one of them would have to be the home life. What's going on at home? What's being taught at home? What's being said at home? What's being seen at home? You see, all of these things play a part in what your child is going to do when they leave home.
Facts.
You see, so even today it's more or less being a friend with your child than being a disciplinarian to your child. And letting your child, when I came up, I had respect and fear for my mom and dad. But even though I went to prison for 5 years, even though I did prison time and everything like that, that did not diminish them instilling in me the right thing to do.
Right.
But I saw my peers, back then it was Eldorados, Trues and Vogues, back then what we used to ride on back in the day. And I saw that, and I'm being taught by my mom and dad, hard work don't hurt nobody. You can get the things that you want by going to work. But as I'm going to work, it's taking me longer to get it than my peer. I see him riding around. I see him with the money. You know what I'm saying? So I know him. So now I'm going to question him as to how can I get in that?
Come on.
And that's where it starts from right there. And it starts. The good book tells us, man, that the love of money is the root of all evil. Some people say it's money, but it's not that. It says the love of it. And when you love it, man, it make you do different things. So at home, that's where to start at. It starts at home. If you have a child in your house and you can't talk to them and they get smart out their mouth and do all, what are we doing?
Right.
I would never to speak back. That would never happen.
You get knocked in the next day.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
What do you say to somebody that, you know, they grew up in the suburbs and they had a nice home and they still got into, you know what I'm saying, some things they shouldn't even got themselves into?
Man, a lot of time it be peer pressure. It be people pressuring them to, you know, be a part of what it is that they got going on.
Right.
And, you know, they fall into that because they want to be accepted by who it is that they cool with or who it is that they run with. So they can get pressured into doing anything. And not even young men, young women also. They can be pressured into making a move concerning their bodies that they don't want to make. But they feel that they don't want to lose the prestige with this person that's making that move on it. So peer pressure is another thing that plays a big part in it.
How do you feel about like music influencing, you know what I'm saying, some of the traumas of the community?
I mean, we listen to some of these songs these days and they got some pretty vile things in them. Of the, you know, acts that's being done and, you know, pulling out the blick and, you know, dropping bodies and all of this stuff right here. But honestly, to tell you the truth, it's everyday life. It's happening out there. So I can't be mad at somebody expressing their musical gift in that way because it's something that they seeing every day. It's not that they're grandizing what's going on, but the story is being told of what they're experiencing every day.
What I mean, when you say that, you know, most people would say, well, it get deeper than that. You know, they might diss a certain group, you know, and go to the certain group's neighborhood and go to the gravesite of the person that they got killed on the other side. Like, what do you say to something like that? Even though they probably did it, experienced it, but like, what do you say to somebody going to that extreme though?
I mean,
support that.
Well, here again, man, I don't really listen to the latest rap music. So a lot of times when I hear about something that's being said in the song, I don't know about it, but it all reverts back. If we got that much hate in us that we'll, like the young folks say, slide on the ops, go to the funeral, do this and do all type of vile, disrespectful things like that. Where are we going? Are we monsters or are we God's creation?
Right.
Are we, what are we? Because just because you sliding on the ops, you got to understand that the ops can slide too. So you have to understand that when you're in that life of violence all the time, just to walk out the door, you're not guaranteed because this is the life that you live. You've heard it over and over again. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. So when the lifestyle that you lead, the character that you put out there in the world, that's what you're going to be judged on. That's where you're going to be looked at as, what is it that they want out of life? Is it anything possible, anything positive, anything? A lot of times when we do our thing, we ain't gonna get support from our own people.
Oh, no, never. Not where you from, anyway.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get support from your people. But as long as you stay, we gonna take, for instance, you. I know you from a young man, and you know you always been into the rap. You never really been out there with folks. You always stayed to yourself, working on your craft, doing what it is that you're doing. People may not have believed in it, but you believed in it. It was something that was in your heart that you decided that you wanted to do, and you wasn't gonna let nobody, by saying, oh, you can't make it this, oh, that ain't gonna do it. You didn't let anybody stop you from moving further along in what you're doing. Now you got your interview, your podcast, you doing your videos, all of these things. And that is how you achieve your dream. Don't let nobody knock you from what you know you want to do in this life, because this life's so short. We burying more 18, 13, 15, 16-year-olds now than we have ever. And it's sad.
You don't supposed to outlive your elders, you know what I'm saying? People that was already here before you got here.
Right. You supposed to bury them. You should. They shouldn't have to bury you.
Yeah. I mean, for someone to say, like, okay, you talk about what's going on in the community, all the bad things, all the trauma, all the, sliding or whatever you want to call it. What is Joe doing to help combat some of this trauma that's going on in the community?
Well, I mean, I'm just really getting out there to get started on this outreach that, I've been destined to do for a long time. And even I've coached football here in Warner Robins, and I see some of the young men that I've coached, and when I see them and I see them progressing, I always encourage them to keep pushing forward. And, matter of fact, I just went to see a young man that I coached in football when he was 9, 10 years old. And, the way he was going wasn't the right way.
Right.
And he got an opportunity to leave here and go somewhere totally different, somewhere that he's not used to, where he's a stranger at. And now he has his own business. He's married. He's moving forward. And he said to me, thank you for what you imparted in me.
Right.
So if you can reach one person by encouraging, that's what it is. We have to be able to let all of our youth know that whatever it is you want to do, you can do it. We have to have more than the best dressed dummies in the high school. All of the Jordans, all of the LV, you got all of that in your grade point level. You ain't got a solid number in front of the decimal.
Right.
Instead of 1.0, you 0.0 something. That's not good enough, because we're already in a position where we starting out behind the 8 ball.
Right.
If we just gonna be honest, and a lot of times your appearance turns people off, and how you look and is how people receive you. But your appearance has nothing to do with your character. That's what's important, your character.
I mean, what do you say to somebody that's in a position of like, man, where I'm from, man, nobody ever made it. Ain't nobody around here got no money. I know how to get to this money. It may not be the right way, but I know how to get to it. I know how to take care of my family. Ain't no other way but this way. What do you say to that man out there,
Only thing I can say to that man is take a minute and think about it. Because yes, you can go out there and get to the money, but it's repercussions to it. It's you got a majority of friends and people around you when things going good. It's when things going bad and you not in a position to help them or do for them or be the good time guy or girl or whatever the case may be. You have to be able to understand that no matter what I face, I'm going to be able to come up out of it before I make this rash decision. Because, you know, there's people out there that have robbed and got away with it. But think on this. If you do something and you know it ain't right, but you get away with it, it make you feel good.
Right.
So guess what? You won't do it again.
Keep doing it.
See, and so as you do it and you do it again, you might get away with it again. But believe me, eventually,
They gonna get you.
you going to be caught.
Cause it's a routine. Like, that's how you catch thieves. Is a routine. They do the same thing that they got away with numerous of times. They don't even change the path up.
Exactly.
They do the same exact. I mean, I'm a manager at Walmart. I had to check these type of things, and when we catch thieves, even internals, people that's like working for the company, they do the same thing every day. You know what I'm saying? Now that we may let them get away with it to make them feel like they doing something, but we just building a case.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So if y'all doing something out there, y'all think y'all just getting away with it scot free, they just building a case.
That's it. They just getting the
undeniable evidence. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
Pictures, recordings, everything. This the length that they go to get you. What's the length you gonna go through for them not to get you is the question.
You know what I'm saying? You can't get caught up in the pattern.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even with life, sometimes you have to take the wrong path. Or you got to take the unbeaten path, or what they might say, a path nobody took. Because you keep going down the same road, you get the same results. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to switch it up.
Right. And we got to understand what the definition of insanity is. Yeah. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Come on.
It can't be no different because you're going to get the same results. Why? Because you're doing the same thing.
Come on, man.
You got to make a change in what it is, your circle, who you hang with, where you go, what you do. You have to make this conscientious decision that you want better in life. You want to do better in life. And not only that, if you make it, reach back. Bring somebody with you. Pay it forward. Put somebody else in the position that they'll be able to obtain, you know, what it is that you came across. That's where we fall short. We want to keep everything for ourselves. We don't. Somebody will hate on what you doing with your stuff instead of asking you, hey, man, how can I get into that? Mm-hmm. Because when you doing yours and you confident in doing yours, you ain't worried about nobody else breaking in because you know your name hold weight.
Right. And you know, sometimes people gatekeep. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give out the sauce.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not one for the gatekeeping. If y'all got questions, just ask me. You know what I'm saying? I'm
right.
Like, I want to see everybody win, so I'm not gonna even like be like, nah, bro, you got to. Nah, I'm gonna just tell you what it is. Cause if you win, then I win. You know what I'm saying? If you're a genuine person, man, Sarah Young really helped me. He showed me such and such. That helped me out. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I don't do no gatekeeping, man. But let's get into this, man. For the people who don't know, man, just give them a little background of where you from. You know what I'm saying? The upbringing.
Hey, man, I'm from Miami, Florida. I moved up here in 2000. Been here ever since. Truck driver, just general believer in black youth, man. That's what I in black youth. And, you know, to be honest with you, a lot of people say you can't say nothing to the youth today because they mindset, they'll, you know, curse you out and, you know, show out on you or whatever, something that when I was coming up, you would never do.
You would never do that.
You would, if somebody heard you curse, by the time you got home, it had them beat you home.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've gotten away really from general morals in life, man. Accountability, that's a word don't nobody want to say and nobody want to be held to. Accountability. Me, you my child, you go to school, you do grades, you could wear Jordans. I break my back to do that for you. You making your grade, you doing your work, you not being a problem at school, you doing everything around the house you supposed to be doing. I'm gonna make sure you got, because
make
that's
sure you
what.
got what you, yeah.
Yeah, but you going to school, you disruptive, you in ISS, you always getting into something. The teacher always calling me. I got to leave here and go to the school. You failing in classes and all that. You get nothing but XJ 900s from Family Dollar, because
Right.
that's all you deserve. The only thing, the starting point of the whole thing is that schoolhouse. That's the starting point.
Yeah.
That's where you get the knowledge from. That's where you start at, from pre-K all the way up to 12th grade, and even in the secondary school, if that's what you choose to do. But college ain't for everybody. That's what we got to realize. It ain't for everybody.
Yeah, cause like the new generation, college is unnecessary sometimes. Cause I can just go watch a video and learn everything they teach you in college in like 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And do the skill that you're being taught. You know what I mean? So, what do you say to something like that when people say go to college? Education is the key. Like, go to college. What do you say to something like that?
It's gonna be more along those lines, man. When you go to college, that's to, broaden your horizons even more than where they're at. We got young black children out here aspire to be doctors, attorneys, different things of that. So that's gonna call for higher learning. You can't just look at a YouTube video and be a doctor.
That's a fact.
You can't do that. So you got to go to these learning institutions to be trained and taught what it goes along with the profession that you want to do. Now, everybody ain't college material. I wasn't college material. And, but even though I'm not college material, I still got a job that pays me enough money to be able to do what it is that I want to do. Everybody, got their own thought about truck drivers, but hey, I haven't been to college and I'm making more money than some people who went to 4-year institutions and can't
graduated.
find a job in the field that they studied.
Yeah, I mean, because that is so very true. Like, I know people that graduated, and can't find a job. But shoot, the job that I got, if I would have went to college, I probably wouldn't be in a position, because I had to work to get to that level to where I'm getting paid X amount of dollars, right?
Right.
But going to college, I know these people that graduated, been 4 years, they got their degrees, but like sometimes that field be oversaturated and you can't even get a job in that field. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked that, because I know plenty of people that went to college and things.
It happens, man. It's a part of life. Even in life, you got to understand what you're being dealt, man. You got to deal with. I mean, if you play spades and you don't get no spades, you can throw your hand in. But see, and a lot of time when you playing, you'll get one spade, and it'll be a 3. It can't really do no damage, but you can't throw your hand in. So that means you got to play the hand that you were dealt. So therefore, that means whatever the circumstances that you're in, whatever your home life is like, if you want better for yourself, you have to be, and that's what we as people have to be able to have these things in place for people who need to. I want to learn how to do this, or I want to learn I need help doing this. And I'm sure we got tutoring programs, Wine Wonder Robbins. I'm sure we got people that are tutor and do all of that. But a lot of kids are ashamed to ask for help because they don't want to seem dumb.
Right.
And it's not dumb to ask for help. It's dumb to not ask for help.
Because you'll be dumb.
Right, exactly, because you'll be a dummy.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's what we got to, and the main thing is we don't want to listen no more. We got it all under control. We know it all.
Yeah, we'll internalize it, compartmentalize it, put it in a box, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of like dealing with it. Because it'll come back to bite you later on,
Exactly.
Things that you don't know, but you front like you do know. You know
Exactly.
What I'm saying? It'll come back to hunt you.
Exactly.
For somebody, let's talk about like for somebody who never been to Miami, right? You say you from Miami. Like paint them a picture on, you know, the environment and where you was growing up at, and like what was going on at the time.
I mean, to be honest with you, man, I was brought up in Miami in the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's where I was. But I was drawn to the ghetto.
Right.
Because that's what excited me.
Come on.
And that's what I could get up there and I'm away from suburb mom and dad seeing me, but I'm up here. Now I can do what it is I like. I can do what it is I want because I'm in a whole different environment. And not only that, am I in a different environment, but I'm learning as I go.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because I ain't got no street knowledge.
Right.
I'm from the birds.
Right.
I
pick it up.
Yeah, but now I'm hanging with this person, I'm hanging with that person, I'm getting street knowledge. And then a lot of times that's what overtakes book knowledge because people get caught up in the street knowledge of it all. But even in that life, even in selling drugs and all that I did, and previously in my life, it was a choice I made. So when I got arrested and had to go to prison.
Well, let's take a step back. So while we in these environments, in the ghettos and things of that nature, like what led you to, you know what I'm saying, say, let me learn how to do this hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Like what led you to that?
The excitement of it and seeing the money that was being made from it and seeing that, you can work in the trap 12 hours and come out with such and such a money that you could work all week for and don't get.
Don't get it.
And so that's a hard thing. And it's coming from somebody who was taught that a hard day work don't hurt nobody. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I'm saying, no, it don't hurt nobody, but it ain't paying me fast as a quick day's work. Yeah. So this is what I want to do this. And even in doing that, even from coming from the suburbs and even from doing that, I'm sneaking and doing it. Right. I ain't doing because I'm going back home to the suburbs like ain't nothing happened.
Put on
exactly.
Face,
and then once I leave again, it's back to this until that time that I got arrested.
Well, break this down. So, what year was this? Like, what era year was this? And then what drug was you selling?
Cocaine, weed, whatever this was back, man, 85. You probably weren't even here.
Nah, I wasn't here.
Back in 85, 86, man, back in these days. And, but one thing remained the same, the penal system, it ain't changed. Mm-hmm. The prison system ain't changed from back then to this day. If anything, it's gotten worse. Mm-hmm. And you got if you ain't a man before you go, you better be a man when you get there.
Well, let's break this down. So, in a day's work, how much did you make at one time, that you could be like, man, this is ridiculous? Like, how much did you have in your position?
Man, I couldn't even give you a number, but I mean, I had access to do what it is that I wasn't no big meats or nothing like that, but right. I was in my lane of where I could go do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. So
above or under 10,000.
Yeah, but like that. I was street level. I wasn't a plug.
Yeah, so that about 20,000 out there. We double that. About
blowing money fast and not even thinking about the future. Just got plenty of friends out, drinking, doing whatever we want to do, and when I come around, they know what it is. But when that time was over and I went to prison, I don't know where they was. Girl gone.
Yeah, everything.
Everything gone now because you can't provide no more.
Well, let's get into this. If you're willing to talk about it, what led you to get arrested? What situation was that? Like how you get caught, and then how many years did you get? You know what I'm saying?
Trafficking on a traffic stop. Mm-hmm. And actually, man, I had got arrested for hand-to-hand selling. Mm-hmm. And within 1,000 feet of school.
Right.
And I got arrested for that, went to jail, bonded out, and everything like that. Had to do the little straight and narrow thing while not doing the straight and narrow thing, and went back and forth to court and beat the charge.
Okay.
So since I beat the charge, I'm like,
I'm gonna do it again.
I got to go from hand to hand now. I got to go to running the road.
Right.
And so then once, and when I got caught the second time, the first offer that was and this was less than a month from the first time when I beat the case.
Right.
I got caught a month later. So it's two things that you could take from that. I either wasn't very good at it or people out there snitching. So
Come on.
now the first offer they came to me with was 18 years.
That's heavy.
Yeah, and that's a wake up call.
Yeah.
But I ended up in totality with only 5, which was a blessing. So I did what was done.
5 years in prison.
Yeah.
For somebody that come from the suburbs, break down why did anybody from the hood would respect you, and then how did your parents take, finding out about this?
Well, really, I mean, I gained my respect from being true or being solid, as they say now.
Right.
And that's what.
Did they feel like they can play you because you from? They might think you green.
It never was like that, because when I got out there, I hooked up with some people that was in the street, and they more or less took me under their wing.
Right.
And
So
guided me through this. Yeah, not guided me through this and didn't let me make the mistakes that, people would make when they getting involved. And it showed me what street life was about.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did your parents find out about that? How you kept it away from, and then how did your parents find?
They found out when I got arrested.
And then what kind of conversation was that? Like what kind of?
Man. Just the disappointment that I saw on my parents' face, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Was something that still to today I call back on, because to see my dad and mom crying in the courtroom, that blew me. And for them, because my dad was a pastor of a church in Miami.
Right.
So for them to find this out, and then now for them to have to deal with the embarrassment of something I did.
In the church.
Yeah, and
how they talk,
And I knew at that moment that I should have considered doing something different.
Right.
So, yeah, man, that blew me.
So the second time, we get caught. Now, a man of knowing okay, I got. They gave me a good chance the first time. Let me take heed, right? And I don't have to do this. You know what I'm saying? Why do we continue after the situation of I live in a nice neighborhood, my dad a pastor, why do I continue to do this?
The money, man.
The money.
The women, man. The cars, man. All of the stuff that is glamorized, man. Honestly, that's what it was, man. It wasn't that I didn't know better, because I did.
Right.
But it was just walking in the club with your boys and recognize for you know what I'm saying, that
Right.
recognition, that ghetto celebrity.
They know what you're doing.
Right. And you know what I'm saying? They know, and they know that you keep money in your pocket and you always looking good, and you
Right.
Yeah, man, it was the glitz of it all. That's what did it for me.
Let's dive into this. So what goes into the thinking of, I get all of these accolades for doing this thing. Did any violence come about this? Did you have to you know, assert your authority at some point? Like somebody might try to rob you at some point, like, or
Man,
everything was just smooth, or like, did you run into some violence?
I mean, actual. I mean, I done discharged a few weapons, but actually, and I had a few weapons put in my face. I've been robbed before a few times, but even in that, man, it was like, okay, I got to be more careful the next time.
Right.
But it didn't knock the draw of the money out. It was the money, man.
It just kept you tunnel vision.
It was the money, man. It was no greater feeling to be able to go to the mall, the flea market, wherever you want to go and just grab what you
Stuff was
want to
dirt
grab.
cheap then, man.
Yeah, it just grab what you want to grab, and you know, cause we was in the Converse days back there. Y'all young folks don't mess with the Converse, but we was back then, and man, it was the money, man.
So like, let's try to bring. I can't even think of the word that I want to use, but like, I can't even think of the word. It's on tip of my tongue. It just can't come out. But like doubling back to today's generation. So when you speak on today's generation, you're not just speaking. You're speaking from experience.
Yes, man.
Of doing these things, just knowing. But what do you say to that young man that's out there on that say, man, bro, I gotta do this. Like, you did it, I gotta do it now. Like, you had your fun, you ran up your money, you had the women and all that, you did a little violence. Like, I gotta do this. I gotta follow my face to know I gotta change my life. I can't just listen to what you saying, cause what you saying ain't really making sense. Cause I know what you did. So now, man, I can make how much money? Why I'm listening to you? What do you say to that?
Man, I just say that the decision you make, just be ready to stand on it.
Because at the time you was doing what you was doing, I'm pretty sure your father had conversations with you and other people that are, you know what I'm saying, of stature was like, hey, you don't have to go to do these things, right? How was you receiving that information at the time? Was you like, I hear what you're saying, and then one ear out the other? Or you were kind of taking heed, you were trying to figure out an exit plan? Like, what was in your brain as they're telling you you don't have to do this?
What was in my brain, man, was how I wasn't gonna let them find out that I'm doing this.
Yeah.
That's what's in my brain. You know, God bless the dead. My dad, man, he always used to say to me, something ain't right. I got this feeling in my gut that something ain't right. Right. And I'd be, you know, nah, daddy, everything, I ain't doing nothing in that. But every time he told me that, whatever I was doing,
you was doing it, yeah.
Yeah, and he'll find out, and it'll come to light, and he was never wrong. So what I say to a young brother who say, you did it, I say, you got to be prepared for the repercussions if you do what I did, because I had to pay it.
Right.
So if you willing to pay it, then, I mean, let your next move be your best move. But the bottom line to the situation is going to jail, going to prison is counterproductive. Where's the productivity into that?
What you mean when you say it's counterproductive?
That means it's not benefiting you in no kind of way. It's hurting you.
Right.
Because you taking time away from your family. You ain't with your family. If you got kids, you ain't with your kids. You ain't doing none of that is benefiting your life or your situation at the time. And even along the lines of, you got to think, if a man tell you, look, I got a family, I can't feed them, we finna get put out. I got to do what I got to do to get this money.
That's right.
What I say to them is, bruh, it's choices in life you got to make. I can sit here, first of all, I would entreat you to talk to God, pray. That's what I would do. But when you got a person, all they've ever known is that, and all they ever known is, what can you do? The only thing I can tell you is, as long as you prepared for the repercussions,
yeah.
If it makes sense, do it. If it don't make sense, don't do it.
Yeah, that's deep. Reason why that's deep because why are you doing it? I hear what you're saying, but I really don't hear what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So they never gonna stop cold turkey just because we had that conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The next move should be an exit plan. But like you say, you gotta just tell them if they're willing to do that, stand on that business because it's stuff that come behind it that you can't control.
Can't do nothing with
You
it.
can't control the police coming,
Exactly.
going to prison. You know, you can't control those things. You can't control what the judge is gonna sentence you to. You know what I'm saying? You can only control what you're doing, but you're not gonna realize it until you hit your face. You know what I'm saying? People, your mom keep telling you stop touching the stove. So you gotta burn your hand.
Yeah. Now you know it's hot.
Now you know it's hot. Like that's the first step to being a kid. You don't know what this thing is on the stove.
Right.
You just know it light up red.
Right.
Now you know it's hot. You know what I'm saying? Break down this. When you was in prison, like what was like the day-to-day in prison in the 80s, or what was we in the 90s at this point?
Man, we was in the 90s, 89, from 89 to 94.
Break
So
down prison life, man. Like,
I mean, man, you always on guard. Prison, man, the air smell different. It smell different in there, man. You can smell fear. You can smell death. You can smell beef. You can smell. It smell different, man. And you always on guard.
right.
Always on guard. You may, like in Florida, man, when you went to prison, man, you found the cats from Miami and y'all clicked up. The cats from Orlando clicked up. The
Right.
cats from Jacksonville clicked up.
Cause it ain't gangs in Florida.
No, man, I mean, they got gangs down there, but I
Ain't
know
that
back
culture,
then
yeah.
it wasn't big like that, man.
Yeah, I mean, I never heard of gang culture in Florida. It's just like territorial.
Yeah, so
yeah.
it ain't, it more or less than gang, man. It was just like who trap area it is.
Yeah.
Certain cliques, this
Yeah.
they neighborhood, so you know what was
yeah.
what. Yeah. But it's a everyday, really I just want to say to the young brothers, man, right now, keep this in your mind when you do it too. You go into when you go into intake in prison, you with about 40 guys that came in on the bus with you. And when y'all get off the bus, everybody got to strip naked, butt naked, standing out in a gate, just standing there naked. Now, if you there and you shame and you trying to cover up and all this, right, you the one they looking for.
Yep.
They finna come approach you. Hey, you need a honey bun? You need some cigarettes? Oh, just stay over here with me. I ain't gonna let nobody bother you. And see, that's all the draw in.
Right.
Because like I said earlier, man, you gonna do two things: fight, or the other one.
Yeah.
So
That's that's reality.
yeah, and I mean, even today, even on the streets, man, you could look at a person and tell, well, I know they ain't with the BS. You see what I'm saying? And even when you go in prison, people know real men when they see them.
Yeah.
But if you show any timidness, any softness, they gonna attack that. That's what prison is, man. Prison is nowhere for a black man. I tell you that much. It's nowhere. I went one time, I ain't been back since. It was enough of experience for me to know, calling home on Christmas and talking to mom and everybody in the background laughing, having a good time. And I'm sitting here in the dorm room of 90 inmates.
Right.
We finna get ready to eat processed turkey and all of this right here. This is our Thanksgiving. And now you got to deal with 89 other inmates in the cell that's in their feelings about not being home too. So now tension's rising.
Did you fear for your life in prison? Like,
Nah, I can't say that I did, man, that I was fearful of my life, but I just knew I wanted to get my time done and go home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
What was you thinking like during this whole prison process? Like, was you thinking when I get out, I'm gonna know how to do it better and not get caught? Or was you thinking like, okay, I'm gonna just stop cold turkey? What was your mindset?
man, when I got out, I was so happy to be out, man. It just, I got a job. Guy that went to my dad's church. He got me on heavy equipment, got me into something, and I was like, it was an experience, man, that I didn't want no more. Cause see, in Florida, you get a prison number. If you go back again, you get a letter A. If you go back again, you get the letter B. It's some guys that got F's and G's, bro. That's too many times. The one time was enough for me. And not, being no punk or not being soft or nothing like that, because I'm going to stand on me.
Right.
And, you ain't going to take nothing from me. If you take it, I'm going to be dead. But, no, it's a decision. You got to know what you're going to be up against when you make these choices in your life. And that's a part of prison life.
What was next for you, like, after you got out of prison? You did 5 years, so it was probably 95, right?
94.
94. For the next 6 years before you went off to move here, what would you get into? Like, what was your mindset? What would you get into?
I mean, man, I was working. I had got married, man, and I was working, and you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really nothing as far as doing illegal things or nothing like that. But you know what I'm saying? I would still move how I could move or whatever the case may be. But I definitely knew I didn't want to do nothing that would cause me to go back to the chain gang.
Right.
I didn't want that was the experience enough for me.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
learn from mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So 2000 hit. What made you say I'm gonna move to the middle of Georgia? Like, why the middle of Georgia?
Man, I came up here, man. My grandma was sick, and I came up here, and I was with her, and man, I was just going through my life with just in a turmoil in Miami, man, and it just felt like Miami was closing in on me, and felt like, it was a possibility I could get sucked back into what I was before.
Right.
So, I came up here, and 2 weeks after I was up here, my grandma passed, and I just stayed. And from the fast streets to Miami here, man, from seeing Miami then to seeing here now, it's like making one of Robin's. They trying to catch up with the foolishness that go on every day in Miami.
Right.
With the killings and all of this right here, man. So I don't know. It seems to be a never-ending circle, a never-ending cycle that we're going through. And what we need is somebody who's going to be brave enough to break the cycle. To say, no, it's not going to be this way. No, I'm not going to do this.
What you think you can do, though? Like, if you were, the leader of the free world, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, and you would set out a task to stop all the violence or stop a portion of the violence, drop the percentage of the death rates and killings and things of that nature. What are some initiatives that you kind of put in place to hinder some of this, violence?
Man, one thing about our people, a lot of our young black people in the sports. So it would be initiatives that would give them outlets to, if you got a young man, he like to fight football, for him, he need to get out there with a hitting at.
Right.
If programs that could, because man, it's amazing how some of these kids today can't hardly read. And when you ask them to read, they don't want to read because they can't hardly read. And see, that's why I say you got to prepare yourself for what you got going on. You got to make ready yourself for this life. Because you can, the choice you make to have a good life depends on how bad you want it and how bad you willing to work for it. I had to come from, even in that, man, coming from not having a house, not having a car, having to live with people. As a man, this does something to you.
Right.
As a freeloader, you don't care nothing about it. You got somewhere to stay. You can get around if you got to walk, whatever the case may be.
Making it to the next day.
Yeah, but as a man, living on somebody is something that you don't want to do. And as, you know, people helped me, as God drawed me along and God covered and kept me, he allowed me to buy my first car, my first home.
Right.
These are things, are steps that may have seemed like back then was a long way off, but they did come to fruition. So you just got to have that drive, that zeal, that zest, man, to accomplish whatever it is that you want to do.
What would you put in place, you know, to kind of lead them in the direction, like some things that you would do if you was a leader of the free world, to just like help that?
I give them multiple, somewhere outlet that they could go at all times. For lack of a better word, a safe space. You know, because today a lot of kids, they won't talk to their parents, but they'll talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how their parents will react to what they say.
They don't want to be judged.
Right. And they, you know, but they'll, you know, that's why I'm that one cousin. You know, you come in, well, so and so, hey, your mom and dad love you, man.
Right.
You need to inform them of what's going on. You ain't got to worry. I ain't gonna call them and tell them nothing, but you need to tell them, and you need to go and talk to them. And if that way, see, communication, man, that's what's needed. Communication and accountability. Who gonna be held accountable?
Yeah, you gotta stand. People like to stand on business, but that really mean accountability.
Right. Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody even really standing on business out here. For the people who don't know, like, what got you into the ministry, you know, and you know, because where I know you from is a church, you know, speaking that word, you know what I'm saying, and like you kind of make it palatable for the youth and the men, you know what I mean? Because you speak, I could tell you speaking from a different perspective, right?
Right.
So what got you into that? Because you powerful with that, you know?
Man, I really, man, it's just a God thing, man. God did that. And one thing for certain, two things for sure, man, I ain't perfect. And we all, even as people in the church and people that are pastors and leaders of the church, nobody is perfect and nobody is better than nobody else. So this is the main thing that I try to get people to see. We all trying to get there together.
Right.
And so I don't have no judgment for you. But what I do have is that what I've experienced, what I've been through, I'm willing to share that. I'm willing to pay that forward. So maybe you don't have to go through the pain that I went through with it. You can avoid the situation. So, you know, when man, God is a big part of where I am and who I am right now, man. I know I don't look like traditional people in the ministry, but think on this. If you look like me, would you be comfortable coming in a place to see somebody that look like you, or somebody that everybody close cut, clean shaven with the tight fades and all that right there? Would you be more comfortable to see me in there,
A familiar
sitting
face.
up there in the front? Then you see that your look has nothing to do with your character and what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve in life. A lot of people got a misconception about church because of a lot of the things that you see going on. You hear all the things that they say pastors do, and you hear the reports of it and all that, and it turned a lot of people against the church.
Right.
And the only thing in my ministry, man, is I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have it all together. Every day I'm trying to do better. every day I'm trying to take a step closer to where I want to be at. And that's what we got to understand, man, is God know you ain't perfect. All you got to do is try, though. Where's the effort? That's what it is, man. And kids, we had at our church in Miami, me and my sister, we were over the youth department, man. We had a heap of youth. And we look at them right now, man. They got families, they got jobs, they doing good. And every now and then they'll inbox and say thank you. And you can't beat that feeling that you get, man, for somebody to say that you was a positive influence in their life, man.
That's what you do it for.
Yeah, that's what I'm in it for, man. I ain't in it to be elevated to nothing, man. I ain't in it to get no shine from it. The only thing I want us to do is see our youth win, man. And to be the best that they possibly can be. Some of them may have to go in the military. It's an opportunity. Because as long as you sit here and don't do nothing, what are you doing? But killing time, wasting time. Sometimes you got to make a move. Sometimes you got to leave one, Robin.
Yeah. You got to see new horizons.
Yeah.
You don't even know what's out there for real, man.
Right. You got to go see it, man.
I've been around the world, man. You think how you living. It's more wicked in other places in the world.
Exactly. I've been to Germany. I done been everywhere, man. And it's just that one thing you notice, man, in different cultures, man, you see how people react to each other. And, because you have, you heard it all the time about Mexicans. 20 Mexicans will get in the house and they'll stay in the house. They'll come together, pay the bills, and they'll get a van. They'll ride to work. All of them, they'll pay the van. But
right.
That's where we need to be at. We need to be that close, willing to get that close, man, to make it easier on us.
But, we'll separate and show the next man, like, you ain't living like me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I got the flex on you.
Yeah. Instead of like, let's do it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why you see them with the Mexicans with that bankroll.
Exactly. Every time they open their wallet in the store, they got it's packed in there.
Legit bankroll.
Solidarity, man. We need solidarity, unity, man. We need all of that. And it's a misconception about the police, man. We think that the police out to get us or the police is there to harm us or something. That's not it. But we have a distrust for the police for incident. I don't know if I'm wrong. Maybe you could tell me. I haven't ever heard of a police officer in one of Robin killing nobody. Like, I haven't heard. No, I haven't heard that.
It's been one, I rather not speak on the podcast. Somebody in the family, somebody in the family, somebody like that. But certain things won't hit the light though, because that never hit the damn light.
Yeah, see, so that
it's a lot of stuff that may be done that'll never hit the damn light because it won't get enough press. You know what I'm saying? Enough people won't. You won't get Al Sharpton to come to that one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, in the internet, they controlling a lot of things because they make certain situations seem bigger than it should be, and sometimes they'll contribute to the growth of that story to cover up the next story. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it was in Mississippi or Alabama, I can't remember what it was, but why would they have a police department with a grave site? You know what I'm saying? And nobody was knowing about this secret grave site for years upon years. So it's just like nobody knows about that until somebody bring a light to it.
Right.
So it might be a lot of stuff in the dark. It's closed files.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it'll never see the light of day unless the right person bring the press to it. You know what I'm saying? People only care about what everybody else care about.
Right.
They don't care about something that they should. Like, we don't know George Floyd. We don't know him. You know what I'm saying? But we know the story.
Right.
And now we're married to the story because ain't nothing else going on in my life. I might as well share this post.
Right.
And I just contributed to the growth of that. Now it's the biggest thing. I got statues and shirts but I'm profiting off it now because I can make a shirt.
Right.
Black Lives Matter. And the lady who ran Black Lives Matter made millions of millions of dollars off of merchandise and didn't give nothing back to the black community that was purchasing the merchandise. So it's just like we'll take something very small and we'll pick and choose what we want to elevate. You can't elevate all the stories.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stories out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care about what happened to your cousin because this young man in Tallahassee, something happened to him and let's make this a big thing. But your cousin just died probably the same way. But we're going to elevate that story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we can make profit off of that. You know what I mean? I feel like all of it is propaganda. You know what I'm saying? And how can we make a profit out of this?
Right.
See something? Let's go. Let's go make shirts. Let's go
make a shirt.
Website. Let's go get the trademark to the name.
Exactly.
You know, like it's certain stuff, man. I don't know. That just
the dollar, man. It's all about the dollar.
Yeah, it's all about the dollar.
Money,
you know,
man.
so. But as you were saying, like, yeah, it has been instances where that happened, and the story just wasn't publicized. You know what I'm saying? It just went for the public.
So the public, it ain't been no publicized one. To where they, but we
Can
have
an
to.
uproar.
I have, I got policemen in my family,
Right.
and I look at them and I see them and I know the dangers that they face every day.
Every day.
And they not the officers that killed George Floyd.
Yeah. But they get the backlash.
Yeah,
for
Philando Castile.
Come on.
And they not the officers that did that. But I love my people and I don't want nothing to happen to them.
Right.
Because, y'all mad at the cops that killed Michael Brown in St. Louis. Y'all mad at these cops, but y'all want to take the frustration on the local authorities that's here. So when they pull up anywhere, it automatically get volatile because you don't want the police there.
Yeah, you inferior your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they inferior their life too.
You see all the video people, I'm recording. I don't have to. I mean, how did we get there?
Yeah, because that person got famous for this. My turn. Like people get pulled over all the time. They gonna pull out their phone. They might go live. They're trying to catch that viral video. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole TikTok with this thing. Like it's multiple millions of TikTok with trillions of views on police pulling over people and probably doing it in the wrong way, in the wrong fashion. It's some on Facebook. It's everywhere because people are trying to capture that moment on where police done me wrong. I got it on camera now. Now I'm finna make a profit. I gotta GoFundMe now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Send me money because I'm traumatized. Cause you know what I mean? Like all police officers ain't bad.
Right. They not,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
They not. And you know what? One thing about it, man. This has been something that has struck me so crazy all my life. One thing that our people won't invest in is life insurance. And God forbid that something happen, you got to get victim assistance, GoFundMe. But that's the last thing that I want to do if I die, to have to get assistance.
$30 a month, man.
To bury me. That don't make sense. I've been paying my life insurance premium. My mom took out on me over 30 years ago. Over 30 years ago. One day it's going to have to come to pay. Yeah. But I got it.
Right.
And see, it seems like we got everything together now. We don't need no life insurance. We in the prime of our life. Everything good.
Right.
Somebody drunk, not even looking.
Crash.
Kill you. No life insurance. GoFundMe. What do that do? Put everybody in your business.
Yep.
Oh, they can't even bury you.
They gonna talk about you.
Yeah, they gonna. That's what we do. You know, but we got to do better, man. I just want to see our people do better, man. Just do better. That's all I want to see our people do, man. Do better. Prosper, move forward, be successful, have everything in life that you want. And I'm going to stand on whatever I can do to encourage and push people to their greatness, to their better. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep studying what you're doing. If you got a craft, you got to study your craft. If you want to be the best at it. Because look, Even where you at right now, I see you bigger than Club Shay Shay.
Come on, man.
I see you bigger than all I see, but you know what? You putting in the work now, though. It may seem minuscule to somebody else, but it's getting out there, and people are seeing you in the way that you move and the things that you're doing. So you gonna win, but you got to stay on the course that's been determined for you. Don't let nobody give you the big head. Oh boy, but I'm steady grinding. I'm steady grinding. So I'm steady grinding. Remain humble and get to the position that you want to be in to provide for your family. Because that should be that should be the number one. That beautiful little girl you got, that should be your number one priority, providing for her.
Number one.
If you don't eat, that's all right. She got to eat.
You gotta lay that groundwork. You gotta do stuff that you might think is beneath you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People got an ego. I ain't the type of person got an ego like that, but some people might feel like certain stuff they do might be beneath them. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get your face out there. That's all that mean. You know what I'm saying? Even not even your face, your voice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm behind the camera, but just get your voice out there. Get your talent out there. Like, don't be ashamed to put no work in with any and everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you never know when that moment is gonna be that moment.
Right.
The moment that you didn't take, that could have been the one.
Right. If you reach one, man, you give it to one. If one take it and run with it, mission complete, far as I'm concerned. If it turns one person away from doing something that's detrimental to being positive, if it turned one, mission completed, man. Because it they welcome them in the jail with open arms. Y'all come on in. We'll put you up for a while. We overcrowded. We fighting in here every day in the county jail. Folks getting stabbed and killed. Y'all come on in. What do you want in there? That's the question I got. What is it that you want? Because street cred ain't no good in there. Ain't no streets.
Ain't nothing but testosterone.
Yeah, ain't no streets. So street cred ain't worth nothing. You can say whatever you want to say about when you was locked up and how you did all this right here. You can say whatever it is you want to say. Only you and the folks that was locked up with you know.
And they still in there.
Yeah, and so they can't vouch for you, and they can't say that you lying.
And then when they get out, it gonna be a whole nother story. He wouldn't even like
No, it wasn't even like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
All right, so kicking it like this, man. Just giving the people some motivation, right? You know what I'm saying? You got somebody that afraid they don't want to make it to the tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That they can't pay the next bill. You know what I'm saying? They can't take care of their kid. You know, they going through it. They got a lot of depression. You know, they don't got nobody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? They just having the worst time of their life. Like, give these people some motivational words, man.
Hey, man, in a situation like that, man, you can only resort back to your faith, man, in God. And then if you don't believe in God, then that's something that, you know, you have to deal with on your own. But if you believe in God and you believe that God is real, no matter how hard it get, man, and it done been, you know, situations where, you know, I've been financially strapped and I didn't know where this was going to get paid or that was going to get paid. And, you know, all of my convictions are drug charges. I never got convicted or arrested for robbery. I ain't admitting to no robberies or anything like that, but I ain't never got arrested for robbery. So when you in a position that you got to have it right then, like I said, you make choices, but you have to be able to stand on the repercussion of your choices. You got to stay focused, to motivate yourself. Write stuff down, write it down, put it away in your wallet. Write it, put it on your bathroom mirror. Every day you see it, that's a goal I'm trying to reach. I got to do this to get here. I got to do this to get here. And if you trust God in what you want to do, man. He'll make a way even if you get put out. That's what I believe.
Come on, man. All right, so this is the last segment of the pod, man. So for the people who don't know, for the people who do know, this your commercial. Sell yourself to the people, man. Go.
Hey, I'm that one cousin, man, and I just want everybody to know that no matter how hard it is right now, no matter what you going through right now, even if you can't see it getting no better, believe in your faith, trust in God and what you want to do. I'm just a guy out here want to see everybody win. I'm just a guy out here want to enlighten people on a better way to do things and not have to suffer through death, incarceration, or anything, or any issues like that. So the only thing I can say is if you see me in the streets, I speak. I'm told I look mean a lot of times, but I only want to encourage. I only want to be a blessing to somebody, to let them know even in your darkest hours, even when you feel that it ain't going to happen, hold on to what you know. Be careful. Take a minute and think about it. Yeah. And shout out, man, to, you know what I'm saying, of course, my mom. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. And, you know, I shout out, she's a praying woman. I don't care if your toe hurts, she gonna say, let's pray. And I appreciate that because that's her focus. She focuses everything that she does on God. So we want to shout out to her. And, you know what I'm saying, all the young people out there right now that's trying to get ahead, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to your cousin YBL Mark, you know what I'm saying, doing his little thing and everything. Keep pushing. I know he get discouraged. Everybody get discouraged, man. But when you finally reach that point that you trying to get to, and you can stand and see all of the pain and suffering and all of the doubt that you went through, you made it, that's when you know that perseverance brought you through and staying on course brought you through. Yeah.
And that's what we outside with. Gone.